Let's proceed now to our next bit, and that is, did you know? Now, did you know Sister Rosetta Tharpe is the godmother of rock and roll music? Yes, I mean, I know when I mention rock and roll, even to myself, the first name that comes to mind is Elvis Presley. But that's not the case. Here's a brief right here. So many people have received credit for inventing rock and roll. Like I said, Elvis Presley was referred to as the king of rock and roll. Now, Chuck Berry was the father of rock and roll. Alan Freed coined the term rock and roll. But then in the 1930s and 40s, Sister Rosetta Tharpe was one of the first people to combine gospel music with melody-driven urban blues. Melody-driven urban blues. Take a look at that. Now, traditional folk and unique pulsating swing style. Now, today, Tharpe's music, the musical style is considered one of the first definite precursors of rock and roll. Now, many music legends, including Elvis Presley, Little Richard, Johnny Cash, and Chuck Berry, were influenced by Tharpe's unique musical style. Yet, somehow, her name is often left out when people talk about the history of rock and roll. But then that is not the case here. We would not overlook that, right? So, Sister Rosetta Tharpe is that lady who was one of those pioneers because, well, I would make, the snippet of her video playing, performing alongside a certain group that's more of like a choir behind her as she plays and sings. I mean, there's no difference, right? And even with Elvis Presley, there's a bit of history right there that he wasn't even the same person. Like, he wasn't even the original, yeah, innovator of even how he moves, the dance and everything. It started off with one African American somewhere, but that's a story for another time. Today is all about Sister Rosetta Tharpe, happens to be the godmother of rock and roll, an African American. Take a look at that, yes?